Hi everyone, this is Mrs. Nedbalski here with Scooter, my puppy. So we are wanting to read with you guys, Santa is Coming to Colorado. I'm not sure if Scooter's going to stay here this whole time, but we'll try. Santa is Coming to Colorado, written by Steve Smallman, illustrated by Robert Dunn and Jim Mitchell. Santa is Coming to Colorado. Well, boomed Santa, have all the children from Colorado been good this year? Well, mostly, answered the little old elf as he bustled across the busy workshop to Santa's desk. Santa peered down at the elf from behind the tall, teetering piles of letters that the children of Colorado had sent him. Mostly, asked Santa, looking over the top of his glasses. Yes, but they've all been especially good in the last few days, said the elf. Jolly good, chuckled Santa. Then we better get their presents loaded up. Even though the sack of presents was really, really big and the elves were really, really small, they seemed to have no trouble loading it into Santa's sleigh. Though how they managed to fit such a big sack onto one little sleigh, even they don't know how, but somehow they did. Splendid, boomed Santa. We're ready to go. Not quite, Santa, said the little old elf. One of our reindeer is missing. Missing? Which reindeer's missing? Asked Santa. The youngest one, Santa, said the elf. It's his first flight tonight. I've called him, but... Just then, a young reindeer strolled up, munching on a large carrot. Where have you been? Asked Santa. But the youngest reindeer was crunching so loudly that it was no wonder he hadn't heard the little old elf calling. Oh, well, never mind, said Santa, giving the reindeer a little wink. He took out his Santa nav and tapped in the coordinates for Colorado. This will guide us to Colorado in no time. Crunch, 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 crunch. With a flick of the reins and a jerk of the harness, off they went racing through the sky. Ho, 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 laughed Santa. We'll soon have these presents delivered to colorful Colorado. Santa's sleigh flew through the starry night, heading south across the Arctic Ocean. When they flew in the wintry air, crossing over Canada, in the wink of an eye, the sleigh was flying above Montana and Wyoming and on to Colorado. The youngest reindeer was very excited. He had never been away from the North Pole before. They had just crossed over the Rocky Mountain National Park when, suddenly, they ran into a blizzard. Snowflakes whirled around the sleigh. They couldn't see a thing. The youngest reindeer was getting a bit worried, but Santa didn't seem concerned. In 2 miles, said the Santa nav in a bossy lady's voice. Keep left at the next star. But ma'am, Santa blustered, I can't see any stars in all this snow. Soon they were hopelessly lost. Then, through the howling blizzard, the youngest reindeer heard a faint ringing sound. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. He looked over at the old reindeer with the red nose, but he had his head down. Red nose? Which reindeer is that? There was that sound again, like church bells ringing. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. The youngest reindeer turned around to look at Santa, but Santa wasn't listening. He seemed to be arguing with a little box with buttons on it. With a flick of the harness and a jerk of the reins, the youngest reindeer gave a sharp tug and headed off toward the sound of the bells, pulling Santa and his sleigh behind him. Whoa! Cried Santa, pulling his hat straight. What's going on? Then, to his surprise, he heard the ringing sound. Well done, young reindeer, he shouted cheerfully. It must be the bells of Denver Cathedral. Don't worry, children, Santa's coming. Then suddenly, crunch! The sleigh hit something as it plummeted through the snow clouds. You have arrived, said the Santa Nav unhelpfully. Finally, when the snow had died down and the clouds parted, Santa discovered exactly where they were. Stuck right at the very top of the cash register building. Everybody pull! The reindeer pulled with all their might until, at last, with a screeching noise, the sleigh scraped clear of the cash register building, and Santa steered them safely above Uptown, along Colfax Avenue, over Duck Lake, and down into City Park. Luckily, there was no real damage done, but the packages had all been jumbled up. Santa quickly sorted out the presents into order again. All right, said Santa. Thanks to this young reindeer, I know where we are now. Don't worry, children. Santa is coming. Santa drove his sleigh expertly from the rooftop to rooftop all over Colorado, popping in and out of chimneys as fast as he could. Which was pretty darn fast for a chubby fellow. There were big chimneys in Boulder and small chimneys in Littleton. He squeezed down thin chimneys in Thornton and plummeted down fat chimneys in Commerce City. The youngest reindeer was amazed at how quickly they went. Santa never seemed to get tired at all, and it looked like the children in Colorado were going to be very lucky this year. But the youngest reindeer was starting to feel a bit weary and quite hungry, too. In house after house, Santa delved inside his sack for packages of every shape and size. He piled them under the Christmas trees and carefully filled up the stockings with surprises. In house after house, the good children of Colorado had left out a large plate of cookies, a small glass of milk, and a big crunchy carrot. Santa took a little bite out of each cookie, a tiny sip of milk, wiped his beard, and popped the carrots into his sack. From Aurora to Arvada, from Fort Collins to Castle Rock, from Durango to Steamboat Springs, and all the places in between, Santa and his sleigh visited every house in Colorado. Santa delivered presents to Allison, Andrew, Anna, Arabelle, Archie, Ashley. The list went on and on. Zach, Zara, Zoe. Finally, Santa had delivered the last present on his long Colorado list. Great moons and stars, sighed Santa. It's past midnight, and my sack still seems heavy as ever. I hope I haven't forgotten anyone. Santa opened his sack to check. It was full of juicy, crunchy carrots. Santa divided the carrots among all the reindeer. Well done, he said, patting the youngest reindeer gently on his nose. But the youngest reindeer didn't hear him. He was too busy munching. Then it was time to set off for home. Santa reset his Santa Nav once more to the North Pole, and soon they were speeding over the Rockies between Aspen and Vail, above the Colorado River, and out past Grand Junction through the crisp, starry night. Ho, 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 laughed Santa. Merry Christmas, Colorado. I hope you guys enjoyed my story. This is one of my favorites. Merry Christmas, everyone.